Okay. Jeez, this one's kind of long.
Come on, man.
Oh, man. Okay, ready for this?
Always.
Yeah.
Ooh. Am I the asshole for ghosting a girl who didn't want to date me, but wanted to stay friends afterwards?
Not at all.
Right off bat, I'm thinking, yo, what are you talking about, bro? You're not
Just
the
let him
asshole.
cook.
Let's hear what he has to say. There might be some simping involved. I know how much you
may
hate
sound crazy
simping.
right now.
No, I just don't think men and women can be friends. That's a story for another time.
Whoa,
Sit in the camera.
whoa.
Nah,
Yo, interesting take.
I'm just saying
Interesting take.
Do you know what I just heard?
What?
All your coworkers are watching right now. You guys not really friends. All your female coworkers.
No, we're friends, but there's
No.
you know? Yo, start it. Yo, start it.
I'm not associated with his nature.
Yo, do your thing.
All right. I met her about 6 months ago. I thought she was really attractive and we hit it off. Flirty behavior, her touching me, her asking the group who he is he single, etc. So I thought there was something there. So her group of friends invited me to hang out with them one day. The group would hang out approximately often 2 to 3 times a week. So for the next couple of weeks, I hang out with this group. During these events, I thought this girl was into me. We would dance together. She would jump on my back and I would give her a piggyback ride. A couple weeks into this, I asked her if she wanted to go out on a date with me and she said no. I was taken aback by her answer. She said she didn't want to lose me as a friend, so then she said she would go out to dinner with me, but just as friends. I told her I'm not naive. I can take no for an answer and I've been rejected before. If she wants to be friends, I can still be friends. So from then, she started to ask me to hang out with the same frequency as before. At first, I didn't want to be the nice guy who just wanted to hang out with her just because I didn't want her friends to know that I got rejected and I kept wanting to hang out with the group. I didn't even see my best friends as much as I saw her, as I started to see her more and more. During this time, she became really flirty. When she would hang out with her friends, they'd even comment about it, of how noticeably attached to it she is to me. A noticeable incident during this time was one time when we were supposed to hang out as a group, but everyone bailed and just ended up being me and her. She wasn't really happy. She wasn't happy I started inviting other people to hang out with us. I think her words were, "No, don't invite her. I just want to hang out with you tonight." I thought maybe she didn't know how she felt, so I asked one of her friends about it and I learned that she had a crush on someone else. So I ended up dropping the whole thing. After this, I started to get over my crush on her and realized that we're not that compatible after all. Her and her friend groups, which are nice people, aren't the type of friends that I normally hang out with after all. We just have different interests. I would only do something with the group if they were doing an activity that I would want to do, but I wouldn't just do something with them just to hang with them. With this realization, I started rejecting hanging out with her group when there was conflict or if I didn't want to do the activity that they were trying to do. During this time, this girl would continuously text me day of, before, and after the fact, and I would keep up with my replies, although she'd stop replying altogether. Some of the messages she started to send at first were extremely weird. Examples would be, "I miss your face. Oh, you look really happy in your story. I miss your laughter. We're hanging out together tonight. No, we're going to hang out tonight, but I'm going to be thinking of you." I really stopped responding to these messages, but I'm still getting them once a week now, after some time has passed. No one else is getting these messages in her group or her friend group. So what is the verdict? Does she like me? Should I stay away? Am I an asshole?
Yo, he is such a conniving little person.
Whoa.
Shut your mouth.
No, because I see it as like, okay, by all means, he was interested in her, right?
Yeah.
And she has every right to turn him down. Okay?
Yeah.
That's her haq. That's her right, right? But for her to still keep that energy and not only keep the energy, but kind of add fire to it, she became more flirty. She wanted to hang out more. She has no sympathy for the fact that this man just gave you all his feelings and you rejected it in front of his face, you know?
Mhm.
And not only that, but you're basically hitting salt on the wound where you're not giving him time to recover. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think it's right for her to be this close to him when you rejected him in general, you know? And to that point, I think it may look salty on his part that he didn't want to be friends with that friend group anymore, because in actuality, it's probably because, like he said, they're just not compatible. You know, like I don't really do what they do. Why am I going to hang out with them more than I should? But from her eyes, it may look like, were you only hanging out with me because you were interested in me?
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Mm-hmm.
So I think she's in the wrong in the situation because she kept adding fire to it and making him think that there's still a possibility when reality he was actually interested in someone else, you know?
Yeah.
Because if a girl is telling me, hey, let's chill on our own, when I try to invite other people, my guy mind is thinking she's interested in me. Why would somebody want to chill with me solo dolo? You know?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's what makes, like, I don't think his mind process was wrong. I just think she was wrong for making him think what they are is more than what they actually are. You know what I mean?
Fair enough.
That's poetic.
Fair enough.
Appreciate you, brother.
Come on, man.
What I do.
Let them know.
He
No,
was
I
there.
think she before they even exposed the crush thing, I think she was just keeping him as a backup plan
Mm,
the entire time. But
Interesting.
then the friends exposed that,
mhm.
like, oh, she's trying to get someone else, so he let the whole thing go. But she's still trying to keep him as a reserve, just in case this other thing doesn't work out. She can go with him. As a, oh, this guy's, oh, I'll settle for him.
Sure.
I don't think, as a young person, you're not really thinking about, if you're on the chase, you're on the run the whole time, men or women, you're not thinking about the other person's feeling. Well, you don't really have, when that's not the main choice. You're not thinking about the reserves feeling, and that's a lot of things. I don't think she's an asshole for that. I think she's just immature.
Right.
When she gets some experience, she gets some time, she will start realizing, oh, he may have been the better choice, and I was just playing him.
Yeah.
Because we all, to a certain extent, have that person in the past that we thought, yo, this would be a good person, but I'm not ready for that right now, or that person was not ready for me right now.
Mm.
But to a certain extent, we thought of that person as an ideal person for us, but it just didn't work out.
Yeah.
I think that's where she is, where she just, because we didn't get their ages, they could be young adults. We were just trying to chase, trying to run, trying to find someone just to be with,
Yeah.
just to be with somebody. And I think that's what she's caught in the middle of. He's not wrong for ghosting her, because why are you wasting people's time?
Right.
Yeah.
Oh,
No.
yeah.
Let
To
the man
that
move on.
point, something you had me remember is a lot of people get drunk off the feeling of knowing somebody in close proximity likes them.
Exactly.
You know, like knowing that X person is interested in me, even though I'm not interested in them, it just boosts my ego, you know? And everybody, I'm sure, had that situation. But what I don't think she's doing well is letting him heal.
Yeah.
Because when you tell somebody you like them and they reject you, in my opinion, the best thing to do is cut off all contact
Mhm.
and let yourself recoup. Because you just, not to say you got your heart broken, but one pathway that you thought was going to lead to your future just got broken.
Right.
So you need time to reconnect and understand where your life is going to go now, you know?
Mhm.
I don't think she gave him that time, like that peace of mind, and just kept adding fire to it. Like, yo, let's chill more. Let's do this more. Let's be more flirty, you know? In his mind, he's trying to connect the dots. Like, do you not like me or not? You
Mhm.
know? So I think she was also getting drunk off that. You know what I mean?
I 100% agree. And not to mention, I think you hit it right on the money. I think since I took it right off face value that the names weren't mentioned or the ages weren't mentioned in the
Mhm.
story. So just based off of the wording and how it was written and phrased, I think these people are either teenagers or they're young adults.
Yeah.
You know, so they are pretty young. I feel like they're just getting their first few experiences of relationships, dating, and whatnot. And there's a learning curve, on both sides. I think the person who's writing the story learned a valuable lesson on the types of girls there might be out there. Some girls are more, you know, they more so tend to seek attention from guys rather than connection with guys,
Mm-hmm.
and that could lead somebody astray, could lead somebody into like weird way of thinking about people. But he's also learning that there should be some separation, like you're saying. Once you do realize that this person is not going to be with you, or the person you're interested is not interested back, you should disconnect to some degree,
Yeah.
right? And for him to realize that after the fact, after hanging out with these people, and after realizing that this friend group is not for him, I think he's just now realizing that, okay, you know what, I got myself into a little sticky situation here, but I can get myself out.
Mm-hmm.
So the learning aspect in this story would be that there are going to be, from a guy's perspective, there are going to be women in your life that you probably come across that don't have your best interest in mind, and that are basically just in it for themselves, trying to gain off of you in any way they can. And you have to be aware of that. You are going to develop feelings for these types of people, some maybe for a long period of time, maybe for a short period of time, but you still have to be able to navigate those feelings into reality and realize what's there for you and what's not there for you, right? So, in this sense, I don't think this person is an asshole. I just think that they're just a little immature. Both of these people in this story are just a little too immature, but
Right.
this is a learning.
What do you do?
I mean, he's still like thinking about it, like a normal, rational person, like you were saying, would just be like, all right, she's not for me, doesn't want me, I'll move on. But since he's writing the story, he's conflicted about how he's been talking to her or she's been talking to him. I feel like he still thinks in his mind that there could be a chance.
Yeah.
And I think that realization needs to come to him like, yo, just it's better. It's in your best interest to stay away from this girl because she's doing all these things. And that's going to hurt you down the line anyway. So maybe it's a blessing in disguise.
For sure.
I'm just saying that way of thinking is the maturity that people get when they have experiences in relationships.
Yeah.
This is for me. This isn't for me. I like this. I don't like this. There's probably somebody that girl is going to come across in her life that will be accepting of all her features, everything that she does, her personality, her attitude, but it's just not this guy.
Yeah.
And that realization is tough, especially at a young age, because you're like, what did I do wrong? You start to blame yourself probably, but it's a learning lesson. So I don't think that this guy's an asshole. I don't think that even the girl's an asshole. I just think that they're just a little immature, and they just have some life to live. So in time, this will fix itself, but I don't think there's anything that guy needs to feel guilty about or anything like that. He just caught himself in a weird situation. It happens.
No, one thing, just the last thing I'll add on as well, something you said. I think we had a discussion early on in this podcasting, and me and him, we were talking about people like when you start a podcast, the people you come across and temporary guests and things like that. And one thing I learned within the last couple of years is that there's a lot of temporary people in your life,
Right.
and there's going to be, like, to relate it to a show, there's going to be someone, a character that's just for that season, and then next season he's gone. And I think as you age and as you gain experience, just in relationships in general, whether it's business relationship, friends, romantic relationships, family, not family, but the rest of the relationship, you're gonna realize people are temporary. You can learn from the experience, gain as much as you can, because everyone has something to teach you. In this case, he learned from that.
Yeah.
She taught him that what you need to have, that, like, just like you said, it's gonna add salt to the wound if you keep on hanging out and trying to go over some immature psychology. Like, you're gonna realize, oh, this girl's not mature. Let me get up out of here. Why am I wasting time? Even her friends are making comments about it, and is still keeping him in that field. So relationships are temporary. Like, we've been together for 15 to 20 plus years, and you start seeing some of your personalities in the other person, or someone you love's personality in the other person, that will make them stick around longer.
Yeah.
Just note down those key aspects of a person, whether it's a friend, business relationship, or romantic relationship. Look for characteristics you're looking for, and that will help the process go much more easier. Because some people look for the mother in the girl that they're trying to gain a romantic relationship, because certain characteristics from their mother the girl will have as well.
Fair enough.
Very well said.
I'll also play,
Appreciate it, bro.
I'm going to also very quickly just play devil's advocate, because I've seen this happen so many times. Like, this guy specifically, just staying on topic of the scenario we're in, this guy, in my opinion, could potentially get this girl, but he would have to sacrifice parts of his personality to do so, and may not recover from that. I've seen this happen so many times. Like, a good guy would be interested in a girl who's probably not his best compatible, person, and that relationship will just completely change the person, and morph their personality, their characteristics, and all that stuff. It happens so often.
Very often.
I'm just saying, like, bro, if you want to get her, you can still get her. The table's not,
Very often.
the table's not clear yet. You just go out, do your thing, do your little dirty macking.
Yeah. There was a time I hid the fact that I liked anime, fam.
Oh man,
because there was there's a time frame where people
I
like,
was the guy. I was the bully. I was the bully. I was
so
the
then I was like, yo, what's that, bro?
What do you?
It helped me a lot better in situations, but then right now I don't care anymore. Like, I have to tell people.
You can fake it till you make it. Is basically what I'm trying to say. Like, if you really want to get her, if she's that bad to you, bro, you could do it.
Right.
Just saying, anything's possible. Here, possible.
Man brought a Kim Possible.
Yo, you got it, bro. You got it.
Yeah, I'm dead. Okay.
But I guess we could leave it at that. That's
Yeah. So asshole result.
I would say not the asshole.
Not the asshole.
So we all agree, not the
But with a
asshole.
small tidbit of can be the asshole, it can win this if you really wanted to. So just
Yeah,
put it
fair
on,
enough.
just put it
Fair
out there. I don't recommend it, but it's out there. All right. I, male 28, know that my son isn't mine, but my wife, female 26, doesn't think that I know. How do I have a conversation with her about this? That's just the title, guys. Ready to get into this?
Yeah.
Okay. I've been married to my wife for 3 years and together for 5. Our son just turned 2 in early June, and to put it bluntly, he looks biracial. His skin is darker than I thought it would have been. He has curly hair, and we most certainly don't. He has curly hair when we most certainly don't, and his features don't look like the standard white people, which we are. He's a beautiful boy. He just doesn't look 100% white.
I don't like the way they're saying this.
No, this guy's being observant. I'm trying to give him the benefit of the doubt. He's being observant right now. He's trying to understand the
He's
differences.
trying to say black.
He said he has curly hair, which when we most certainly don't, and his features just don't look like the standard white people, which we are. He's a beautiful boy. He just doesn't look 100% white.
You say ethnic. That's the yeah.
Trying to be very politically correct here. I get it, and I respect you. I asked my wife a few days after his birthday if she thought our son looked white. She said yes, and asked if I'm accusing her of something. I said no because I genuinely wasn't. I was just wondering. I know genetics can be weird sometimes. We fought and I apologized, but I wasn't able to shake the feelings, so I did the shitty thing and got a test done behind my wife's back. The results came in a few days, and I am not my son's dad. I feel conflicted about my son. I love him, but knowing that he isn't mine is leaving a sour taste in my mouth. Our son definitely prefers me, and he's my world, but he's just not biologically mine. I don't know what to make of my feelings. I'm a mix of emotions about my wife. I don't know how to talk to her. I'm angry, confused, feeling very, very betrayed. I'm heartbroken too. I still love her. She's working at the moment, and I don't want to disturb her at her office, but I feel like I'm going to explode. This is all very difficult for me to process, and I cannot do this. I can't think of when my wife cheated. We always had each other's locations for safety purposes, and I can't think of any suspicious friends that she has or had. We go out on regular dates, and our bedroom isn't dead. We were also trying for a baby around the same time, so I don't know when she cheated on me or why. Ever since we married, she's been over the moon, consistently showing off her wedding ring and talking about me to her friends. She looks as if she's a teenager in love. How do I tell her that I know or get the ball rolling? I don't know what I want to do yet, as stupid as that sounds. I've been stewing on it for a few days, but I still love her very much. Maybe someone can knock some sense into me. I need some help. And that's all.
She brought someone to the house.
No.
Potentially?
To that point, it's one of the locations where she often visits. So I'm thinking it's a work friend.
Maybe.
Because it has to be somewhere that, because he has her location, right? It's not like he thinks she's cheating or anything, but he didn't notice anything crazy, like going to a random place, right? So it's in a common area.
Was he checking like that? Or monitoring?
I don't think it's crazy to check your partner's location, but I think the intention is what's crazy. Like if you're checking because you think they're cheating, okay. But if you're checking because you think, whoa.
Well, he says
I'm
that
worried.
they both had their locations for safety purposes.
Yeah, for safety. Like I would want to know. I would never actively check my wife's location, but I would want to know if she's safe. Like I'd
want her to keep her location on at all times while we're together.
Yeah, like
and me the same way.
100%.
So that's not nothing crazy. But I do also think, because the conflicting part for me in the story is that the kid is there, 2 years old.
That's not your kid,
and he loves him.
Yeah, but
this is very similar to that other Am I the Asshole we did.
It's not similar.
Okay, give me your take.
Because that one he was with the kid for 6 years.
Yeah.
This one he figured out off the bat before he invested.
After 2 years.
No, you just told me it's a kid. No,
the kid's 2 years old.
2
he
years?
Just turned 2. Yeah.
Oh, did he realize after the fact?
Yeah.
I thought it was an infant.
My son just turned 2 in early June.
But the kid hasn't processed any, like,
this is a toddler.
Yet.
This is a toddler.
Yeah, like the kid doesn't understand anything yet.
So that's okay.
That's not your kid. I don't think it's right for you to stay in the picture at that point. You know, like, and I also find it very weird how he's giving her the out too. He's like, I still love this woman. Oh yeah, she's head over heels for me, brother. If she was head over heels for you, if she was showing the wedding ring to everybody, she wouldn't have done what you think would actually happen. She's not as in love with you that you think she is, because she just broke your promise, all your vows that you had on your marriage day, everything that they told each other in solitude. She basically broke every promise that they ever made together.
Mhm.
And this guy is still trying to rationalize and be like, but she still loves me. Brothers, she doesn't care for you.
Well,
And if
I think he's saying that she's showing him love.
that's false.
It could be fake love, like you're saying, but it's
fake.
not. It's not like she's not ignoring the fact that she's with him. Is what I'm saying. You know.
Fair enough. But if you're too, like, I think somebody's true personality or like their true commitment comes out when you're not with me. Like if you and I are friends, we're great when we're with each other. But if you go behind my back and start talking shit to other people,
Then
is that
you-
a real relationship? Is that a real
No,
friendship?
not
You know what
at
I
all.
mean?
I agree.
That's a fake, false friendship that is only exist when we're with each other. You know,
Right,
to
right.
that point, even if they're a little lovey-dovey in real life and you're out here cheating on me behind my back, are you really in love with me?
We
You're
don't know. We don't know how long it's been going on for though. It
I don't
could have
care if
been
it's one
night.
time. I don't care if it's no fam.
So what would you do
You have to step away.
from that moment you got the test results? What are you doing next?
I'm talking to her about it.
And saying what?
I'm being like, I always had assumption. Actually, before we get into it, what would you?
No, finish.
I wanna hear
finish
what you
your
have to
thought.
Oh
say.
yeah, I
man.
would be like, I want to talk to. I would talk to her and be like, I always had a inkling that the features on my son didn't look anything like us. So I took the liberty of doing a test,
Mhm.
and it came back that there's no DNA that connects me with this child. So what I want to ask you is there something you're not telling me?
Okay,
And that gives her the
let's
opportunity.
move past the fact that you have the conversation.
Yeah.
She comes clean. What are you doing next?
I'm walking away.
So you're not going to be in that kid's life
No,
anymore.
I'm not gonna be
You're
in
not
that
going to
kid's
be
life.
with that woman anymore. You're
No.
not going to try and salvage that at all.
No.
Okay.
Because I don't have a connection to the kid yet that makes it like formidable.
I
Like
disagree.
I'm not 2 years old. You're not even gonna remember anything from when you're 2 years old.
That's not in question here. I
Do you remember anything from when you're 2?
No, I don't.
Then what makes you think that kid is gonna even remember you after the fact?
It's not about that.
What is it about?
It's about the fact that kid, it's still in this person's mind, that kid loves the dad and
Yeah.
he loves the kid, right? So in the same scenario we were talking about in the last Am I the Asshole, the one that we did with the similar scenario, I think that there still needs to be some closure, some separation, some distance that is formed over time. And I think that, well, personally, I think that these two people should go to marriage counseling, right?
Okay.
They should talk about this in front of a marriage therapist or somebody who's like, who's been taught to do this professionally. And then that man needs to make a decision on what's best for him. But I don't think leaving cold turkey that day is the right decision at
There's
all.
a
I agree.
huge
I
difference
disagree.
between the last story and
Mhm.
this story.
That's fair.
The
Yeah.
last story, this guy came in the picture knowing that wasn't his kid.
Right.
And he had the opportunity to decide if he wanted to raise the kid.
Fair.
This one, he was under the assumption from when she was pregnant. She
Mhm.
even probably showed him like a pregnancy test. Like, this is us. This is everything we ever wanted. So he, from the get-go, thought it was his kid.
Yeah.
And he raised this kid under the belief system that this is my child. After knowing after the fact that this kid is not actually mine, he found out that in the hard truth that the person who you thought you shared everything with was actually breaking all your vows behind your back. I think those two are completely different. And
I'm not disagreeing with the differences in the story. I'm
Okay.
just saying that I disagree with your take in that this can't be salvaged. I think that there's a chance that this could be salvaged
yeah.
through the right means, you know?
You know why I don't think it could be salvaged? And Mukhtar, I'll let you chime in
Yeah,
because
we
I
need
feel
to
like
hear
we've
your
been
opinion
talking for a
on
little too much. Like, the thing is, you allowed me to be disrespected, not only behind my back, but for 2 years while this kid was alive. You knowingly made a fool out of me. You know, every time I came through those doors, you knew that kid wasn't mine. And you let me play a role that wasn't even mine. So you making me look like a fool for all the time that I've known this child, I don't think I can create something with you and moving forward. Like, you made me look like a dumbass.
That's
And you
fair.
think I trust you? No?
That's the thing. Like I personally, I feel like you're your pride is so strong in this scenario that
Yeah.
you're not thinking rationally, right? And this is just my take. I'm not saying
Fair
that this
enough.
is what you're actually doing, but I'm just saying that I have to look at this, in my opinion, I have to look at this scenario objectively, even if I was the guy.
Okay.
There's a child involved that's 2 years old that loves me and thinks I'm his dad. I'm not going to just leave randomly the next day, even though the circumstances are pushing me towards that. I still need to find some kind of closure, some kind of clarity, and I still need this to somehow be, at least we need to work on this problem because there is a problem. I think you're acknowledging the problem
Yeah.
a lot more than you're acknowledging the solution. To
Okay.
me, I'm looking for how can we solve this problem? This happened. You completely you completely disregarded my trust, my feelings toward you, our love, our marriage, and our child.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's something that is huge that needs to be covered immediately. I think that that's where moving forward starts 1st
Mhm.
is addressing that with the proper channels and then finding out some sort of solution where you can live a life. Either if you're involved in that child's life or not involved in that child's life, there needs to be time for you to vet the situation,
Yeah.
understand it, and then go from there. I feel like right now you're speaking from an emotional standpoint
Yeah.
because you got betrayed
Yeah.
100%. But naturally, people who get betrayed, they make stupid decisions after the
Okay.
fact, you know? So to
Okay.
avoid that, I think thinking objectively and thinking about the child's sake
Mhm.
first would help the situation a lot. Whether he ends up leaving or staying is
Yeah.
up to the guy, but I think that he needs to rationalize the situation before making a decision. Is
Brother,
basically what I'm
you
trying
know
to
where
say.
you and I see different? I don't see a solution here. I
That's where we
don't
can
see a
agree. That's
solution
where we
here.
can agree to disagree, though.
I don't see, like, it may be coming from an emotional standpoint, but I don't see a solution here.
That's
And
fair.
I cannot willingly allow myself to be with somebody who actively disrespected me.
100%. I think
You know?
I think the same way, but the reason why I disagree is because I'm putting myself in the position of this person. For 2 years, I thought that this child was mine. I love this child, and this child loves me. But now I sort of have this resentment towards the mother of my said child, who's probably not my child, who isn't my child, actually. Right? It's going to be tougher for me to disengage from that child's life than it would be from the woman's life. Right? Guaranteed, granted, I probably most likely will never see that woman ever the same ever again. And that relationship is soiled forever. But my relationship with that child that I consider to be mine is going to take a lot more than, that type of betrayal for me to completely disconnect. There has to be, if I can't salvage that relationship, I have to at least have tried to feel better after
Okay.
the fact. You know
Fair
what I mean?
enough.
That's
Fair
where
enough.
I feel like I can't
Fair
completely
enough.
disconnect.
Okay.
Even if I'm just a part time person, or I'm just popping in every now and then here and there, if that can be somehow salvaged where I don't have to have a relationship with this person, then I would take that. I would take that reality for myself just for the sake of the child. I think it's in my opinion, it's more a question of what is the right thing to do here for that child. Not
Okay.
what is the right thing for me, not as what is the right thing for the woman, but what is the right thing for the kid that's been born.
Okay.
That's my entire thinking of it. And I'll let you go to because you haven't said anything yet.
Yeah. I'm leaning towards Java's side
Of
on
Yeah,
course
this.
you
talk
are.
about it.
Of
Talk
course
about
you
it,
are.
man.
Huh?
Of course you are.
Why do you say that?
Because you're more on the side of if it's not mine, it's not mine, right? You're always on that side.
Um, I'm more on the side of how you address things matter.
100%.
Because she was playing him stupid for 2 years, and then when he brought it up, she played her emotion. She played because she knows he's gonna try to not anger her too much. He's gonna apologize because that's what men and women relationships do. Usually, the man apologizes regardless of what the conversation is. Typically, I'm not gonna say all the time, but she didn't handle it right. She let it go on for 2 years, thinking, I did, even if it was one time, I did this. I still love this man. Who knows if she's to this date cheating? It could be it's 9 month pregnancy, and then plus the 2 year, almost 3 years have gone by that this incident has passed, and it could have been a white night stand, that she was drunk or some shit.
Circumstances could be involved. I agree.
Yeah.
100%.
So she's thinking, oh, this is past. I love my husband. I want to be with him. I want us to raise this child together. Pray to God this doesn't come up. If he's starting to have suspicions, now you're playing on someone's intelligence. And you've gotten to the level where he had to sneak the child away to go get a DNA test.
Well, I don't think he took the child. I think he just
No, but he probably went out to park and then said, "Yo, let's like this is eating at me. Let me go." He didn't. It's not like he told her, "Hey, I'm
No,
getting
no.
this
I'm
done."
just saying. I don't think the child was taken to a facility to do a test. I think
I think so.
they
Well,
just
what do you?
they just cotton swab your saliva and send it in.
Ah, okay, fair
Yeah.
enough, fair enough. Okay.
I wasn't thinking that. I
This
thought
guy
they
knows
just
the
did
process.
blood
I
work.
apologize.
Just saying.
I apologize. He did the test a few times.
I had to find out. Ali, exactly stuff.
Okay.
I thought they just did blood work. I thought they just did it with their family doctor. But so yeah, that's the thing. How the build up of the situation is where it went awry for me. If she had told him even a year in, "Hey, this is eating at me. This is what the case is." I think maybe I would lean towards you. Maybe I would say, "Yo, I really love her, and this is probably a one time thing." And then we would have to regain trust in the relationship. But she let this rock for 3 years
Mm.
is the biggest piece for me. And then finally, once he's starting to say, "Hey, I have these suspicions," you didn't address it right.
Right.
I understand it's hard to come um to deal with something that was in the past that you've tried to settle and put in the past. But this is someone that you're trying to build a life together and hopefully have additional kids. And what are you gonna do when you have another kid and the two siblings don't look alike?
That is a good point. That is a good point.
That's something that could happen.
Mhm.
And let's say you guys have makeup sex and uh accidental what's called the unintentional baby happens from that.
Mm.
And then now he's stuck with an actual biological child in this
Fair point.
relationship.
Fair point. My thing. Okay, I have a question for you guys, and this is aside from the scenario itself. Take away the child in this. Do you guys think that your marriage would be able to survive a cheating?
I want to say right now, no. But I know when you're in a relationship, it's a little different, and time is invested, emotions are invested, and it gets a little bit more complicated, especially when you guys are in like 10 years, you know?
Yeah, but let's
Mhm.
take kids out of.
But if it's like just you two,
Mhm.
you know what it is? Personally, I would like to believe that no, it's not possible because I am a quiet thinker. Like I think often. There are times where I can't go to bed because I have so much stupid thoughts in my mind. And if the thought creeped in my mind that my wife cheated on me, which in actuality happened, I don't think I could ever trust her again. And I think trust is an important component in relationships. And if I can't trust you, then what are we doing here?
Fair
Like it's
point.
better if we just go our separate ways. Like we can probably mask a happy relationship after the fact, but in the back of my mind, I know that you did what you did to me and I don't really trust you.
So sitting here today, you don't think you'd be able to get over your wife cheating
I
on you?
don't know, man. I don't know. I feel like I would be so hurt by it that I would try to see it. I think I would attempt, like depending on the level of commitment we have. But in reality, I just don't think I could ever trust you again. It's shattered. It's like if you broke a glass and you try to put glue back together. Yeah, you can put the glass together, but you can still see the glue stains, you know? Like I'm basically my trust for you has been shattered. And even though if we try to repair it, it'll never be what it used to be, you
How
know?
about you? What do you think?
I wife, right?
Yeah.
I wouldn't. I don't think I would last in a relationship because I heard a video recently, and I think it was there's a guy that did a documentary on Khabib and his people his camp.
The Dagestanians?
Yeah, and I forgot what his name. I heard on he was on Joe Rogan a few years ago, and he was talking about how the whole time they're doing documentary, people were asking him like once the job, yeah, they don't have any women there. Why do like that? They're just men all together. He said that they it's disrespect for you to point a camera at a man's wife because like certain like I'm gonna just speak for us Muslim men. Our wife is everything to us. I understand everyone's, but that's our heart, our value, our goal. Everything is wrapped up in our wife. So if that's the case, that's our emotion right there. And then there was a cheating incident, and I don't I'm a loyal person. I think have never had that. That's not our lifestyle to go run around try to go from girl to girl try to. That's not how we move. And if that's the case and the spouse went outside the relationship, and we don't get drunk as Muslim people. So that's all wrapped into one thing. It's who we are wrapped into this relationship, and how you stepped out of this relationship to go do what you did. That's why I can't last in it. Because we don't have the excuse of, oh, drugs, oh, drunk, oh, this, oh, that.
I don't even think that is an excuse, to be honest. I think that's the added factor of what came to be that decision or that end
Yeah.
goal. But I don't think it's an excuse.
But that's an excuse people have. Hey, I was drunk. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but it's like that's not taken seriously. That when people say that, it's like almost acknowledging that you fucked up. You know,
Yeah.
it's like trying to run away from your responsibilities in a sense by saying I was this, I was that, I was this, I was that. I don't think that that makes it better.
I agree, but that's still a point that people say when
That
they
is true.
cheat.
Yeah,
They say, "Hey, I was drunk. Hey, I was not in the." Just like when people do drunk driving and they got pulled over to the cop.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm sorry. I was not in my right mindset. I was drunk. It's an excuse that
Yeah.
we are not given because
Fair
we
point.
don't drink. We don't partake in those stuff.
Okay.
I think I disagree with you guys, and I'll tell you why. It only took me till like a couple of years ago for me to truly understand this concept, but there's no perfect marriage ever. No
Okay.
one has ever been in a perfect marriage. There's always been conflict, issues, whether, there's levels to it, obviously, right? But in saying that, I also believe truly that no human being is perfect. No human being has the perfect way of living. Everybody is going to have shortcomings, right?
Yeah.
And I think it's sort of a maturity, maybe, of realizing this, but I think personally a marriage can survive a cheating,
Okay.
right? But I don't think a marriage can survive somebody being in love with somebody else, if that makes sense. Because I think that everybody makes mistakes.
Okay.
And that to me obviously is a grandiose mistake that even if you are guilty, feeling guilty, stuff about it, it's going to affect someone significantly, right?
Okay.
But I don't think that that's a bridge that is burned forever. I think that, well, like you're saying, trust won't be the same, but to some degree, you can still maintain a livelihood, a happy livelihood with somebody after that fact. But if somebody, and on the flip side, let's say your wife is with you for X amount of years and she falls in love with another man, then and only then would I feel like, okay, now this relationship is completely over and there's no fixing it because there's strong feelings involved that I cannot get involved with.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But if it's just a cheating and it's
Cheating.
if it's literally just a one night or one person and this person is truly resent or guilty about their decisions, it's hurt them for so long, they're open to getting counseling, and if I can truly see that their heart is in the right place,
Yeah.
then I think now, I don't know, I can't say for a fact, I think now that I'd be open to salvaging that relationship down the line. It's going to take time, it's going to take a lot of hard work
Yeah.
and patience, but I think that it's possible.
Okay, let me chime in.
Go ahead.
Okay. So something you said was, for you think cheating is something that can be salvaged as long as you're not in love with the person.
Right.
Wholeheartedly disagree. First and foremost.
Go ahead. Yeah, no, this is an open platform,
So
brother.
what I mean by that is, like, let me touch on that and I'll get to the situation. So, of course, no relationship is perfect, but you pick and choose what is acceptable to you. Yes, let's say my wife was a spender and she spent all our money and we're broke now. That's not the end of the world. I'll figure it out because we're a unit. We'll figure this shit out.
Right.
Let's say something happened with our child and her and I in disagreement. Like, don't. What I'm trying to say is, fam, when it's something that we both have contributed to and we both are guilty of, and we can figure it out. But if it's something where it's a core part of the relationship where you broke my trust, I don't think this is recoverable. I don't think it's possible. Okay, now
But
going
why?
over to
But why?
because you actively disrespected me.
D-
There was the
can I-
choice that you spoke with the individual. There was the choice where you willingly did the deed with them, and there was the choice that you willingly did not tell me of it.
That's all.
All three of them were active decisions that you made in your mind that allowed you to disrespect me on all three levels.
Can I throw some in there though?
Go ahead.
A part of that list. You put the question on us as people. So us as people, on what I said. So you're a Muslim person. there's no additional excuses that she can give you in that case that would, on that top of that, there's nothing, there's no mind
I'm not trying to
away from it.
justify cheating, guys.
No, I'm not.
That's
I'm not
what
saying you
doing.
are.
That's
No,
not
but
what
I'm
I'm
just
doing.
saying for me,
Yeah,
that is the ultimate deal breaker.
that's
That
fair.
is a, even if we had the perfect thing going on, I don't know, under maybe at a 1 out of 100, because maybe like there was a chance that, you know, I've never been in that situation.
Can I ask you a question?
Go ahead.
A side question. Can you be in love with somebody that cheated on you?
Of course you can, but love is not enough to make a relationship work.
Fair, fair,
You know,
very fair.
of course I loved you. I married you.
No, I'm saying after the
I'm
fact.
together with them. Yeah.
After the fact.
After the fact,
Yeah,
I can still be in love with you, but understanding that this is not what it used to be, and it's in a place of it's not salvageable. You know,
that's where I disagree.
you know, like there is like, correct. We can do this facade of, oh, a perfect married couple, but in the back of my head, I know what you did to me behind my back. So I want to bring this back to the story. Mukhtar, something you brought up that I missed on my end was, when the kid was a couple of years old, he started to notice that they looked different. And he was like, yo, do you notice this? And you know what her response was? She gaslit him. She was like, what are you saying? Are you
Yeah,
saying
she did.
she had the opportunity, to your point?
hmm
I think that was the farthest that you could have gone with it. She had the opportunity to be like, yeah, this is because of this, you know? But not only did she do that, she made him feel like an idiot for even bringing it up.
That's true.
How on God's green earth do I forgive somebody who, when I thought something was wrong and in actuality it was, you made me feel like the dumbass?
That's a good question. You know what? I think what you're not realizing from what I'm saying
Yeah.
is the timeline in which I'm saying it.
Okay.
This is not going to happen tomorrow. This is not going to happen next week. This is not going to happen next year, maybe. Not even the next 2 years. It's going to take some time. And it's going to take maturity from both parties. Both parties have to, whoever cheated has to realize literally what they did.
Yeah.
And there's no excuses. There's no justifying this, I was this. No, it has to be sincere. And once that person is sincere, the other person needs time to step away from the situation,
Mhm.
get their feelings out of it. But the reason why I think they come back, or I think the reason why I think it's salvageable and people can come back together, is because once you love somebody, that's a very strong word, at least to me. Once you love somebody, it's going to take so much out of you for you to not love them anymore.
Of course.
And I don't think that one instance of cheating is going to be that. And I think in this factor, since the child is born,
Yeah.
right, in this scenario, that makes it much more complicated. And that brings in the factor of what do I do for the kid.
Okay.
But in terms of a relationship,
Yeah.
I think that if you truly love somebody, any action that they do to hurt you, you will start to think about it after the fact, way after the fact, in a
Yeah.
different light.
Okay.
That's what I truly believe happens to everybody. Because I think from right now, what you're
Yeah.
talking about is you're strictly staying focused on the fact that you were done dirty.
100%.
I'm trying to move past that. That's already happened,
But
right?
okay.
And I'm trying to say, what can I do in this situation here now, knowing that I still love this person, but they did me the most dirty they could possibly do. That's
Mhm.
kind of the bubble I'm in.
Yeah.
I feel like you're in the bubble of you did me dirty and tried to take advantage
Gaslight
of me,
Yeah.
you know, which is what this person did, right? They
Uh-huh.
cheated on him. They try to gaslight him,
Take my
and-
resources.
and they
help you
didn't
raise
tell him
this
that the kid is there. There's so much that was done wrong
Yeah.
on that side. And that's where the focus is, I feel like, for you,
Okay.
right? I'm trying to step away from that. That's
Yeah.
been done already. What can I do now in my relationship, knowing that I still love this person, but I have so much resentment towards them right
Yeah.
now? That's the conflicting feeling where I feel like just that feeling itself, just
Yeah.
that like gray area
Okay.
is where I feel like people can get out of.
Let me
Some
ask you
people
something.
can.
Let me ask you something.
Go ahead.
Do you agree love is a two-way street?
Yes. 100%.
You can love her.
Yeah.
Wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
Do you think she loves you? After she did that. Okay. After she did that to you, hid that from you, made you do all this. I'm asking you, do you think she loves you?
I think she can still.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's where you and I disagree. Because I
That's
don't
fair.
think love is possible when you actively made me look like a fool.
That's
'Cause-
that's just that sentence right there made me look like a fool is what I'm trying to step away from.
No, but
Like personal
that's
feelings
what it is.
personal feelings aside, we already acknowledged that you were made look like a fool.
100%. 100%.
This is now I'm acknowledging my feelings.
Yeah.
I have this resentment, anger, heartbreak.
Okay.
What can I do now? That's my question.
But
You're saying that there's nothing that can be done.
that's what I'm saying.
I'm saying
there's no love here.
fair.
That's the point I'm making.
Fair.
There's no love here.
So you don't think that that person can feel guilty?
Regardless of guilt is
That
not
doesn't matter
enough.
to you.
It doesn't matter.
That's where I disagree.
Guilt
Because if I
does
love
not matter.
somebody, fam, if I love somebody and I married them,
Yeah.
I'm going to have to look them in the eye and see what they like where their heart is. If I can't look at the person that I married and look where their heart is and see what they truly feel,
Yeah.
even if that's with the counselor, if that's with the sheikh, if I can't get that closure,
Yeah.
then I'm not going to stop pursuing it. Is what I'm trying to say.
So peculiar, fam.
Why?
Like, is this the only time where that works? So let me throw out a random one. Let's say if your significant other, God forbid, killed somebody. That's the first thing that came to mind. If they killed somebody, they felt guilty about it. Can you forgive them? Like, is that the only time that this guilty thing works?
Yeah, I think I could.
Okay.
I think I could.
Wild.
No,
I don't know.
Actually, no.
He's harboring a fugitive.
No joking aside. I'm being super honest. In my heart, I truly think I could forgive them.
Okay, but makabakisit, you're not scared?
No. If I can
Sounds
see, no, I'm just,
Like,
brother, hear me out. I'm trying to be serious, bro. I'm trying to be serious.
Okay.
If I can see that this person in their heart is feeling guilty,
Yeah.
is remorseful, wants to be better from this, they made a mistake in their life, a grandiose mistake.
Yeah.
Yes, I can move past it.
Okay.
Yes, I can forgive them.
Okay.
Yes, I can still love them.
Okay.
Because people aren't perfect, brother. People make mistakes to the 10th degree, to the highest degree. There's been killers. There's been cheaters. There's
Yeah.
been people that have done terrible things. And I think
Okay.
everybody deserves forgiveness. That's basically my essence of this point, is that everybody
yeah.
deserves forgiveness.
I respect that.
Fair.
I respect that. To your point, I don't think I agree with you, and that's fine. That's okay.
fair. That's fair.
But I just don't. To the point, love is a two-way street.
Right.
Even if I love you, I don't think you committed to the type of love that I have for you.
Right.
And if I'm out here giving 100% of love and you're giving me 20%, I don't think that equates.
That's
and
fair.
To your point, I respect it, but in no way or shape or form do I see myself acting like that.
That's why I posed the question, just to
Yeah.
see where we're all at. But I
Fair
truly
enough.
think it takes some point in life where, because I'm only just talking about this based off of like not my own experiences,
Mhm.
but experiences that I've heard, experiences from other people that are around me, what I read and stuff like that. And marriages have survived cheating before.
Of course, yeah.
It's many marriages have survived
I'm
the
sure
cheating,
they have, yeah.
and they've been happily living together after that fact. Of course, the act itself is horrible and terrible, and you never want to be in it. But I don't think that my immediate thoughts in the situation when that happens will be the end all be all of the decisions that I make at the end of that.
Okay.
Especially if I love this person. That's just my point that I was trying to
Okay,
make.
fair.
But you disagree.
Wholeheartedly.
Okay. And yourself?
I disagree too.
Wholeheartedly.
I'm not saying marriages can't last after the cheating. It's just I don't that what he still was saying, that regaining trust
Mhm.
is because you're gonna have to fully trust the person. What you were saying earlier, you have to look at where their heart lies.
Mm-hmm.
Can you trust their heart after?
It's gonna take time, but I think you can lead to trusting them again.
But I think if you're willing to, taking off this scenario, because the child having the 3 years, that's too much of a burden.
That's a lot. Yeah, that
overcome.
is a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, so that no question. Depending on how long ago the cheating was, and depending how early on, I think we've had this discussion before, once. But depending how long ago the cheating was, and depending how early on, but once it's marriage, and you cheated on me while we're married, and if I'm fully committed, then there's a big gap in mistakes that can be made. That's why I was letting y'all rock, because he was arguing a lot of the points that I do believe.
Right. 100%.
So,
But I'm just trying to look at it rationally, because even though you were cheated on, some people start to think about it, especially if they're super in love with their wife. They're going to be thinking, what did I do to let her cheat on me? That's just a way of, I'm not saying it's a healthy way of thinking, but that's just how naturally the mind goes when you're truly involved with somebody in that level.
I could understand that. And if we're not willing to have a discussion, but I think I'm putting my mentality in someone else. I don't go looking for something else though.
Fair enough.
I will see what I have now
Mm-hmm.
and see if I need to disassociate.
Fair enough. Yeah, that's what
We
I'm
don't
saying.
need to go try to go add on to something that's already pre-existing. You can't substitute something that's still there.
Mm-hmm.
If this plant's here, I might kill this plant to go get another plant.
Yeah.
Or I have this plan already. I see what this plan is. I have to deal with this plan because I made a choice here.
Right.
Mhm.
You can't make the decisions on top of decisions and try to bury one on top of the other.
Fair point.
And then once you're realizing, oh, I still have this one in front of me. I have to deal with this one in front of me. Oh, let me go disregard that other one. That's not how it works. You're splitting your own mind and you're not giving anybody the complete you.
Fair.
So that's why I can't agree because I wouldn't do it. Why would you do it to me?
That's fair. But you know what? I think we can agree to disagree.
Yeah.
My final point is that I think that it takes a lot of maturity and
It
time
does, yeah.
to get to the point where you can see forgiveness in the scenario of cheating, especially in a marriage. I think it exists. Not easy to do, but it takes both sides a lot of work on both sides.
Yeah.
But I believe it's possible.
No. I want to say your way of thinking is honorable.
It is.
Like it is in a perfect world, in like a storyline, like let's say like a Pixar movie, I think that would be a perfect story, you know?
Right.
And I just don't think personally that can be applied to real life. But I totally respect your side and I see where you're coming from. And inshallah, you never have to deal with that.
Inshallah, none
Because
of
the
us
way
do.
I'm gonna look at your wife, god damn. I'm
Nah.
gonna look at her with two eyes like this. I'm gonna
Nah.
follow her the entire time.
Imagine me having gotten cheated on and still with my wife and still loving her, and you're looking at her
No.
sideways.
I'm gonna look at her sideways.
Kicking rocks, brother.
I'm looking at her
You're kicking
sideways.
rocks.
That's the big one right there. The family and now the friends
No,
and
I don't think. I
everyone
think they
knowing
would keep
about
that
it.
in house though. It's not something.
But let's
why
say
would
it
they
gets
tell me?
out because if someone let's say accidentally
We are
someone's
Somali.
too talkative.
Somali talk.
It's-
Yeah.
If okay, that's another thing. If that leaks information, that
community
means it's
knows?
one of you two.
If the community knows,
No, it's not one of them
I'm
too.
moving to Norway.
There's a person that also that she cheated with that
Yeah.
could accidentally let a friend know that knows a friend that knows a friend that
Mhm.
knows you, and you know now, and then you think, oh, he may not know.
Yeah, but I don't care about outside noise. I care about what's happening inside my house.
No, I'm saying, let's say he's in a cheated relationship,
Yeah.
and he and his wife know, and now a friend of a friend is with the guy that was with her,
Yeah.
that they cheated together,
I don't care.
and
bro.
that
I
friend
get where
of
you're
the
coming
friend
from.
tells you, and
Yeah.
you, I think he doesn't know.
Bro, I get where you're coming from.
Yeah,
But I'm not gonna if they talk to his point. If
you
they
don't know
talk,
they talk because they
Okay.
kept it in house.
So if you're saying if the guy she cheated on with just comes around, is that your point?
A friend of a friend tells was with them,
Yeah.
and then it ends up to you. What would you do in that situation? That
Well, it always
information.
has to come from her. Like I would be hurt, but the reason why I'm hurt is for the same reason why he took the test. Like if it comes from any other source than the wife, I think that's painful.
So you wouldn't tell him?
Or like if tell
No,
him
he's
that
saying, he's saying if you heard my
Oh, okay,
dirty
okay,
laundry was
okay.
on the streets, would you bring it back?
100%, I'll tell you.
Real nigga right there.
100, fam. I would drive to your
Real nigga right there,
I'd
man.
be like, yo, get the hell out of this.
I'll be like, yo, you busy? Yo, fam, let's go have a
Fam,
coffee,
it
bro.
could be 4 a.m. I am
I'm gonna have to
blasting your
treat this
phone.
guy to the best meal of his life, bro. I'll be
I'ma
like,
let
yo,
you know,
what
fam.
restaurant you like, fam? Let me take you out
But
today.
to be frank though,
Yeah,
because that is such an accusation,
yeah. You'd have
Like,
to have proof.
I
right?
wouldn't feel comfortable telling you. Like what I would tell you, yo, fam, this is what I heard. I don't know if it's true, but that's your opportunity to go take evidence, right?
That's what
Yeah.
I'm saying.
You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
I don't ever want, like, imagine it was fake. And I'm the
Yeah.
one that told this man his wife is cheating on him. I just basically put a wrench in their relationship.
Not only that,
You know?
he just said that if we, let's say, if we know about the cheating,
Yeah.
and you look at his wife weird, he's gonna tell you to kick rocks. Imagine he reacts and he has no
'Cause
suspicion.
he could be pissed. Like, he gonna look at me
Yeah,
like, yo,
that's
yeah,
what
I
I'm
know this
saying.
guy. He's gonna be like, what evidence do you have? Who told you? Blah, blah, blah. And I'm be like, X told me. And he's gonna be like, X is not that
Then
trustworthy.
I'm gonna have to go fight that.
Yeah,
nigga.
you're gonna have to, he's gonna go talk
Exactly.
to
I'm gonna have
X.
to go fight now.
then he's gonna be
he's
like-
just getting me to a fight.
Exactly. So I have to If I'm going to do that,
You have
I
to have
wouldn't come
proof,
with
right?
you with no stupid talk, you know?
You have to have a photo of my wife. Being with
I
somebody
would,
else.
How would you get
I
a
would
photo?
hire a private investigator.
PI?
Yeah.
How would you get a photo?
That's my boy.
My boy, man.
How?
Private investigator. I have to catch his
Yeah,
wife cheating.
but-
But
like
it was
150
a
an hour.
cheat, not we're
I would-
He's
currently
basically saying,
cheating.
he's basically saying, I'm not coming to you unless I have proof.
Yeah.
You can
If
go
I-
get
it's not
surveillance
hearsay.
cameras.
No hearsay.
Pardon?
You can get hotel cameras.
He's not saying I'm
or-
gonna find proof. He's saying I have to have already had
Yeah.
proof, or else I'm not gonna go.
But
And
there's
just,
if the cheating already happened, how are you gonna get proof?
that's what he's saying. I have to have already
Yeah,
had
yeah.
proof, or else I'm not going.
I'm not even gonna bring that up. Yeah.
He's
Oh,
like-
so you're not gonna bring? Oh, okay.
No, I'm not.
I'm not gonna come to you and be like, I heard your wife's cheating on you. That's
Yeah.
wild.
You may.
Why would
No.
I ever do that? I respect you.
Yeah.
So then you're just gonna let that lie if you don't get proof?
Like I'm
No,
not,
I'm gonna be like,
yeah.
I'm gonna whoever's telling me that, and be like, how do you know?
Yeah. I
And
would,
if they can't give me proof, and be like, yo,
So you're
stop
gonna-
talking
where did
shit.
you hear? No. I'll be like, where did you hear from? Then I would do the investigating on your behalf.
Exactly.
You know?
If I can't
So I
find
wouldn't
any,
bring it to him
if
yet.
there's,
The only-
nothing,
let's-
if there's nothing solid from
Yeah.
that investigation, I'm not telling you
Let's say
nonsense.
the only proof is the guy,
What guy?
That
the guy
person?
that cheated.
I would
Let's
go
say
to him.
he's the only. Would you bring him?
No, I
That's
would
great.
I would talk to this guy directly and be like,
Yeah.
yo, fam, what have you been doing with my boy's wife?
If that guy is cheating with my homie's wife, he's gonna have proof, right?
Yeah, he's gonna. Yeah.
And if he doesn't have proof, then I'm gonna
Yeah.
assume he's capping.
Yeah.
That's
I
all I'm
would
saying.
pull out his emotional strings, be like, yo, they've been in a committed relationship for this long. I need to tell my brother
Yeah.
that X, Y,
If the
Z.
nigga's coming to me saying I'm cheating with your homie's wife, can't openly, randomly,
Yeah.
he's gonna have to have some proof.
100%. Like text,
he-
fam, text message, email,
No.
anything.
Listen,
Or if it's just like a passing comment, like, yo, I smashed his wife, I don't care. Then
Yeah,
I'm
like,
gonna
that's
just be like, yo,
stupid.
you're just a hater. What,
Like
what are
they,
you
maybe
saying
they
that for?
dated back in teenage, you know? Like I'm not like I don't know. I need context.
That's what I'm
you
saying.
know?
I can't come to my friends with hearsay.
Yeah.
That's just starting random fights for no reason.
100%. Yeah, I agree.
That to me is just like that's the one thing that I hate is gossip. It's like I'm not trying to gossip about
like
no
I would do the
relationship.
investigation on your
That's what I'm
behalf,
saying.
and then I'll come to you with
That's,
solid.
as
proof.
my friend, I would
Yeah.
expect that due diligence. You know?
Because then if let's say I just came with a hearsay, like with gossip, I just ruined this guy's relationship because he's probably in the back of his mind thinking,
Not only that, I'm cheating my wife.
You
I gotta
cheated
go
on me
fight a
then.
nigga, and all that's not true. I'm gonna come back to you
Yeah,
like,
I'll
yo,
be
fuck you.
My fault.
There's so
fam.
many else.
My fault. I ruined your perfect relationship.
That's what I'm saying. Like, yo, why'd you lie to me? I just got crushed. Like, you know?
Fam, you would never get crushed alone. I'll come with you. I'll come with you, fam.
Real nigga, man.
We'll get killed together, fam.
But circling back to the actual or the relationship advice question, what advice would you give to this person?
He needs to talk to her
Facts.
and
Facts.
figure out what next steps look like. Either they're leaving, or marriage counseling, or maybe some type of separation.
Fair.
They have to figure out what the next steps look like.
I personally say they need a third party here.
And she
Whether
needs
it's
to accept too, by the way. Sorry, I cut you
right,
off.
100%. I think they need a third party here, whether it's somebody in their community, religious community, whether it's a professional, medical professional, or somebody who's like non-biased.
Mhm.
They just need somebody there to mitigate the situation here because there is still love, broken hearts, and there's so much aspects that they need to look into, but they can't do it by themselves.
Yeah.
It's going to be too combative. So I think they need a third person involved to mitigate the scenario.
I say, let her know you know. Let her
Facts.
know that I'm gonna be at this hotel for a week. I need to time to myself.
What about your kid?
Then come back. That's not your kid.
This guy already saying, yo, deuces, yo, you
No,
can
I'm
clean up that
saying-
diaper? You got that diaper? I put it in last week.
That's
I'm saying go clear your mind. Then
Fair.
have the discussion. Don't have the full discussion at when the emotions are high.
I still think that it needs to be addressed immediately.
yeah.
I'm saying address it. Then leave. Go
No,
for a week.
I disagree with that.
Go for a week,
I
and then come back to have whatever next step conversation is there.
I
Just
can't
say,
leave
hey,
my
I
kid.
found this out.
I can't
You
leave
didn't
my
tell me
kid, bro.
that. I need some time to myself for a little bit. I'll come back in a week. Then
Why
we can
can't she
have
leave?
the next step.
Why can't she leave?
No. You can't kick
You-
a girl out.
It's
She
a lady,
can't leave?
her child.
God.
I'm not.
Her
I'm not
child. It is her child.
Her
It's not even
child.
Not even my child at all. DNA proved it.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that I'm giving them space. You guys can have your space. I'm going for a week. If she ends up robbing him, that would be hilarious.
Nah, this guy's
if
going-
that's the edit.
First off, get your criminal mind out of here. First off, there's
Well,
one
no,
there's one
that's-
bad person in the scenario. We can't have two.
Facts.
She's the same bad person. I'm saying if she does it.
So.
But no, I'm giving them space for a week. Then I'm coming back
Fair enough.
to have the
Fair
next
enough.
step. But result is I'm leaving.
Fair
Okay.
enough. I guess we'll leave it at that. Let us know what you guys think in the comments below. Are you guys on these guys' side? Are you on my side? We need to know. Let us know. And we'll see you next time.
Gang.
Bow.